motherfuckers. How we doing? Doug Rice, thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for taking a look. What I'm doing here is a simultaneous cast. I think I'm doing this effectively. I think it might work. So today, what got me on so early, it's 4:34. We're about, just a few minutes past, the hour, is they have a report on what's going on in Poland. And though it was in the program's interest to check out, for this to be aired, the backbone of the story is what's really interesting. Welcome, folks, on TikTok and YouTube Live. I'm in both places. So if you're on TikTok and you lose me, you can go to YouTube Live. If you're on YouTube Live and you use me. But again, this is kind of just a test anyway, just for my own testing experience. Early in the morning, if it goes bad, fine, I can delete it. If not, I can let it save it. I just wanted to make sure. What's my TikTok name? Doug Rice III. That's the one that's currently active. Also, Rug Dicer. Rug Dicer is down for a few days. But what's got me here this morning and what's got me here so early, as you guys know, I'm an information junkie. I absorb the information so that I can put together a picture that, for me, and I just share it. I'm not trying to impose shit. I'd love for everyone to get their fucking grin off their face as we walk about this penal colony for Negroes, but that's not why I'm here today. Why I'm here today is I determined that after I've seen this rather interesting piece, they want to restrict the ownership of foreign press and foreign media in the country of Poland. Now, Poland, history of Poland, where Hitler really got his start, where Hitler really decided he wanted to get vigorous with the world and show the world what he could do. And the folks and what he did to Poland, I think it kind of speaks for itself for those of you that are history buffs. But there seems to be a problem. You go to Poland, a lot of swastikas being flown openly in Poland. A lot of white nationalist and right-wing symbolism being expressed in Poland in 2021 with these damn machines we all have that can kind of defeat the whole notion of white supremacy. It's just kind of a joke, but anyway, so what I did was this. First, I shared a link in my Twitter account. My Twitter account is Rug Dicer. And what I did was I Googled global rise of white nationalism. I did it all in caps. And here's the return. 32,000 results is not a lot. 32 million rather, not a lot, in less than half a second. But let's see what we got. And I'd love to, I wish that Google would let you sort through the date. I think they do, but I'm not interested in doing it right now. White nationalism upsurge in the United States echoes historical pattern. Okay. So that's 2020, September. October 2020, toward a global history of white supremacy. That's from the Boston Review. This is just Googling the search term global rise of white nationalism. The next one is the viral, and this one is from May 9th, 2021. And this one from Newsy, which Newsy, I don't know if you guys have ever checked out Newsy. These guys are awesome. They're young people, really got their shit together, and they're trying to report the news. I like Newsy just because it's fresh. But from the 9th of March, they report the viral global movement boosting United States white nationalism. This is March 9th. And I continue from jstor.org, global white nationalism, from apartheid to Trump. White nationalism, born in the USA, is now a global terror threat. This from PRI.org, dated 20 March 2019. What an impactful headline. White nationalism, born in the United States, is now a global terror threat. And you're asking me, are you wondering, are you puzzled? Are any of you actually in your feelings about me saying, hey, maybe we should get that fucking grin off our face regarding this whole issue? This isn't a joke. These people aren't playing. And they haven't been playing for a minute. So I can't stop talking about this. This is ridiculous. And it just goes on and on and on. Why? What is this? Why El Paso is part of a growing global threat. This from The Guardian. Why El Paso? Okay, so this is The Guardian from, I'll go ahead and share this on Twitter. I think this might be interesting. Now, this is dated Monday, the 5th of August, 2019. I'm putting this on Twitter 19. I'm putting this on Twitter 19. I like that. I'm putting this on Twitter. It says, white power ideology, why El Paso is part of a growing global threat. I mean, for God's sakes, good morning, folks. But I mean, I'm up at this early in the morning because I turned on the news to find out that Poland wants to kick out foreign media. I mean, I like Poland. What do I care, right? I don't care. Poland, you guys do that. You're thousands of miles away, right? But when you see the reasons, what's driving Poles, the government of Poland, to determine that they don't want, it's a racist ideology. Now, listen, I know that we love to put the word white, right-wing white nationalism. I mean, I understand it's all cute and it just flows. I can say it rather well. I understand that. But for God's sake, man, it's just white supremacy. It's just that feeling, that thought. And no one wants to address the actual driving, attitude. And what's really interesting is they support how this spreads through the mask of freedom of speech and shit. Listen to me, man. I understand you can express yourself and all that, but let's be reasonable. Let's not be stupid. Come on. Now look, here's what I'm gonna do. The kingdom is coming, Eric. Thank you. Kingdom is coming. And it kind of shows you this is a global thing, this right-wing white nationalism, a global thing. I mean, from Hungary to Poland to the United States to specifically as of the 19th of August, the 5th of August, 2019, in fact, 5:04 in the goddamn afternoon, it was reported that white power ideology, why El Paso, is part of a growing global threat. Now, listen, folks, I can't see shit, and if I look at you, I'm gonna fucking just be distracted. So I minimize the screen behind the thing so I can look at you correctly. Let me read this just a little bit. It's recorded. So more than 175 people as of that date have been killed in at least 16 high-profile attacks linked to white nationalism around the world since 2011. This dated again in 2019. The source, theguardian.com, it's in my Twitter, reports that the suspected gunman, this is from the El Paso, Texas shooting, Hispanic invasion. And this type of energy, this type of attitude that's carried through a specific demographic of the globe is this staving off of invasion, this fear of replacement, this protecting of that collective against change, fear of cancellation. These are the things these folks are fearing. Now, listen, far be it from me to accuse anybody of projecting. But goddamn, they will not replace us. What's going on in Poland? What is this driving fear of being replaced? Where is that coming from, I wonder? Because no one, listen to me. I'm just trying to tell you, folks, listen, if they're running from a country where women have to like stop being educated in ninth grade and start having babies, and you got to stand over there because men are talking, boy, that's horrific shit. I can understand the Afghani fear. Lord have mercy. Man, I'd start some kind of commando unit. I'd make a straight, that's a show in the making, Afghani freedom, femme fatale or some shit. These chicks are about to have what they call the blues. And when they come over here, when freaked out, afraid for their life, humanitarian, driven individuals come here, the last thing they think about is replacing one of these motherfuckers. Who are these people talking about? What are you talking about? You think we're here to replace you? No. They're killing us over there because we won't pray 5 times a day. Yeah, they're murderizing us. No, they're leaving heads on pikes in the middle of the square for smoking cigarettes these days. Yeah. I mean, I don't smoke personally, but it's kind of rough. And the fact that we're over here trying to steer clear of being decapitated. No, Mr. Jones, no, Karen, we're not trying to replace you. We ain't even thinking about you. In fact, before we got over here, we heard about you and your relationship with Negroes. And we just want to stay out of it. Honestly, we just want to go over here and chill somewhere, if you don't mind. Honestly. But no. I mean, I it's just amazing. I mean, for God's sake, this is a problem that most folks aren't really taking real stock in. And the reason that people aren't taking stock of this particular issue, the reason they're more interested in what's happening in Chicago, that's been happening for what? How long has it been happening? Like 4 or 5 years? Jesus, that's like a world war. I don't know about you. How easy is it to solve problems in such a small and local demographic of Negroes? You're throwing the stone. I'll catch it. Hut. Okay. Chicago. Hold on. Let me look at this stone you keep chucking at me. Well, yeah, that's an issue. That's a stone, all right. Now, we've been throwing the same goddamn stone for fucking 4 or 5 years. Is there anything you might be able to do about staving off perhaps Chicago's bloodshed? Am I crazy? Oh, you guys think I'm talking out the side of my neck. Well, good God, you guys spent 20 years and billions of dollars in Afghanistan. You'd think you'd spend a few pennies in Chicago to get to the bottom of that. Maybe I'm hoping for too much, right? They talk about blood and treasure, and they'll fly thousands of people for years, material, and they'll train people to police themselves. That might have come in handy in these hot spots in the United States they keep talking about. And then I hear them this morning. They're talking about, we were in Afghanistan because we didn't want the spread of global terror to be a problem. Okay, guys, listen. I don't know if you understand the kind of impact of how progress works, especially in the realm of global terror. But as much as you guys are concerned about Afghanistan and how it might spread global terror, and how just horrible Islam is in your mind, I'm looking at the global rise of terror has nothing to do with Afghanistan. In fact, the locale is more north. So, and I don't want to say, I've looked at the guys over in Afghanistan, if I can continue the thought. I've seen them. They got beards, right, guys? They wear the turbans and shit. I saw the guys who are spreading the quote unquote terror in Poland. that these guys are nationalists who espouse white supremacy and don't want freedom of speech to interfere with that. I saw those terrorists too. Hey man, they had some fucking Gucci suits on, baby. Clean cuts. I could smell the cologne from here. They smelled good. Okay. Now I'm looking at two terrorists. One you spent 20 years and millions of dollars to defeat. A little dirty. They look kind of out of place in the palace, don't they? Just like, I mean, I want to go. I would look. You looked at them. Didn't they look comfortable outdoors? Fuck, don't play. Some people just like it like that. I saw one of them sitting next to a big screen TV. The TV extended to the other side of the wall. He looked at the motherfucker like he was going to break it up and plant it or some shit. He looked at the TV like, do I sit on this? I swear to you. And I'm not knocking him. I'm saying these guys are a less complicated people. And they don't give a fuck. And you know what? I'm going to say it right here on TikTok, right here on fucking YouTube. I understand that you spent 20 years United States and billions of dollars in blood and treasure over you. But I'm going to just go ahead and say it because, you know, it just needs to be said by a black man trapped in the United States of America. It's good to see you guys get your shit back. There. I mean, I'm just going to say it. I mean, I'm not even, look, what do you want me to do? Are you really telling me that these people are railing against global terrorism in Afghanistan while countries like Poland espousing right-wing white nationalism want to cut off the very reporting of news in their country, having riots and marches and parties about their beliefs? That's not the kind of global terrorism motherfuckers can get behind. I mean, when the global terrorist wears motherfucking, Giorgio Armani, baby, listen. Baby, you're terrorizing. You got to stop, baby. Come on. Come on, baby. Come talk to me, baby. Listen, let's go have a cappuccino. Let's go to Spago's. Let's talk about it. Okay? No. No, it's a better optic for motherfuckers that the terrorism got turbans a little bit darker complexion with the beards. That's the global terrorism they'll spend 20 years and billions of dollars to combat and then fucking go haywire when the shit folds in 16 hours after you leave. Well, United States, that was worth it. Wow, you guys put your back in that, didn't you? Oh, no. Listen, I'm not belittling the blood and the treasure. I'm not talking about that. No. That's shameful. I mean, and the vets are already dealing with that. I'm talking about the material and these clowns training people that while they grinned and cheesed in your face, all the while, listen to me, don't you understand that Afghanistan's as a whole, while the United States trained them to do what they wanted them to do, thought in their mind, look, as soon as these motherfuckers leave, I ain't doing none of this stupid shit. I don't know what these people talking about. Oh, yes, sir. Yes. Over here, the tank, the thing, no problem. I do that. No, I get it. No, and if insurgency come, right, got you. Man, if the insurgency comes, I'm putting this shit down and we going home. I ain't been home in 2 years, partner. I don't know what the fuck these people, okay, yes, sir, no problem. And that's what they've been doing for 20 fucking years. Soon as they left, they're like, damn, I'm glad them fuck. I thought they'd never leave. Like guests who don't know when the fucking party's over. Listen to me. I'm looking at the news. They're painting it to be some fucking, oh my God, the world's falling apart in Afghanistan. The world's not falling apart in Afghanistan. No, it's not. They're not losing their mind. In certain pockets, there are some stupid motherfuckers that don't know how to act That's everywhere. But I can see, and so can anybody with half a brain, that generally they just glad to see you motherfuckers gone. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they don't want no problem. First the Russians, then the United States. No, they ready for some act right. Y'all just let the dust settle. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna call it. I understand that everybody's vigorous about Afghanistan, and oh my God, all this shit, right? I saw an interview where they're saying the women can still go to school, and to some degree, they're gonna have to ease up. They know it. They got too many young people, too many people. They got 6 million people over there. They're not gonna have the people turn on them. 6 million people will turn on you. Yeah, don't get it twisted. So as much as everybody's worried and whatnot, they got some dudes looking over there like, look, we just want to be left the fuck alone till kingdom come. Almost got that look on their face. Almost like, you know what, enough of this shit. No, we're good. And yeah, they're smiling. No, we're good. No, we're good. People running in the airports. Here's what I've heard. I've heard reports of people trying to calm them. Hey, man, we ain't even gonna. No, chill, dude. We're good. Okay, whatever. Please get off the plane. We don't even care. We just let these Americans go home. No, come on, man. Let's go. Just get them out of here, man. Just get them out. Get them out. Just get them out. Let them take whatever. I heard them say, we told them in the U.S. Embassy, don't burn shit, just leave. I heard them out their own mouth. We told them, don't destroy. Yeah, he said, you can stay. No, in his voice said, you can stay. His face said, we just want you to get the fuck out. That's all. And leave us alone. That's all. Chinese don't want any either. What the fuck they want to do? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Y'all better mark my words. Chinese going to make a deal. Y'all think I'm playing? Chinese are making deals everywhere, baby. Chinese is going to make a deal. I can see the Chinese waiting right now. Just wait for them all to clear out. We're good. Just wait for them to clear out. And let's do a back channel. Let's do a back channel. We got this. Hey, what's up, Affy? What's happening? Oh, man, don't worry about the Imgurs. Don't worry about the Mirgurs. Don't worry about them. No, they just confused. Islam is cool, right? Look, y'all got some resources, and we're not trying to go to war. But y'all do what you want to do. But we just want to throw you some money. Not a troop, not a single Chinese, but maybe 1 or 2. That's how they got into Africa. Maybe 1 or 2. Maybe 10. This is how they got in the United States. We just want a few acres. Listen, give me like 10 acres in the back 40 and we're good, okay? 10, 12 acres. At most 100 acres, and then we'll stop at 1 million. Chinese owns. Only Bill Gates, as I understand it, owns more farmland than the Chinese in the United States. Go check my fucking math. So, again, the global rise of white nationalism early in the fucking morning. Early in the morning. I wasn't even going to go there. You know me, Black News, and I'm like, wow. And then I did the parallel. I mean, what the fuck? We got motherfuckers who done lost limbs, eyes, on the news, talking about the sacrifice that they made, what they gave up over in Afghanistan, fighting the spread of global terror. But this same man, if I were to talk to him about the global terror and the global move toward white supremacy, I mean, the parallels that he would make would be just obvious. Well, you know, the violence. Well, there are all kinds of violence, psychological violence, economic violence, political violence, sociology, the mental violence. I mean, and to lessen one aspect of global fucking terror that is white supremacy, right-wing white nationalism, and to amplify terror that's based on a religion that you don't agree with, practiced by a people that don't look like you generally. is just beyond the pale. And for me, when they linchpin their religion into their movement, and the individuals look less than Europeanized, and then are absolutely silent to those individuals that worship the same God practiced by individuals they call terrorists, rooted in a religion that they say is the root of the problem. Meanwhile, individuals who have attributes more likened to their own, worshiping the same God out of the same book, by the millions, they don't hold them to account. They don't wag in their own faces and say, why don't you take care of what's going on in Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan? Aren't they of your religion? What's the fucking problem? How come they don't do that? Folks, let's ask the goddamn question. Don't play with me. How many Muslims are there in the world? We have millions of Muslims that are doing what they say are dangerous things. I have yet to really justify that. I look at Islamic activity as more a reaction to an attitude, not a, I understand the generalized, pattern of Islamic spread. However, it's interesting that you call one group who practice religion that you consider dangerous, and you fight that group tooth and nail. And yet another group that practice that same religion, perhaps in a less dramatic and impactful manner, yet the same, you don't hold those individuals to account collectively. You don't square off on those that look as you do, practicing that religion you think is driving terror your way, and hold them to account. What about Chicago? You don't do that. Do you understand why I want that fucking grin off our fucking faces? Because we're being played for idiots, man, all the way around, all 360 degrees. And the only way to get out of it is to just look at it honestly and objectively. The threat is all around you and within feet of you. And that same threat attempts to convince all of us within this foreign land, stolen for the purpose of enslaving and housing us. Those same people will go millions of miles away to fight an enemy that lives outdoors. And you wonder why I do what I do. Folks, give me a fucking break, man. Come on. I mean, all I'm saying, let's just not believe the lie. You can't really do anything about this. I want everybody to understand. I mean, this isn't an activist's bullshit. I'm not trying to tell you to rise up. Fuck that dumb nonsense. The kingdom is approaching. The reason a lot of this is happening is because of that fact. It's the reflective activity that expresses what's approaching. These fucks are real fucking vigorous for some reason, and it's global. It's not just fucking Poland. It's in Hungary. It's in these places where they're in the glide path to start another world war in furtherance of white supremacy. To what extent, who the fuck knows? And one has to ask yourself, I guess, what are white supremacists most afraid of? Not being supreme, right? So who's telling them that that's a possibility? This is Doug Rice Show. I just make you think. Don't fucking blame me. So there it is. How many we got? We got 7. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody just knows this is kind of a test. I know it's early, but the white supremacy, the whole thing just kind of got me like, I need to do a podcast because, you know, we've looked at this objectively and have tried to reason with that which is just incapable of reason. You can't reason with hatred. You can't. There's no fucking way. There's no way. There's no, and we've learned this. We're learning this, and it's growing. And all I'm saying is recess, step back, don't get up, don't move, motherfucker. Wait for the kingdom and understand this is what it is. It is what it is. That's all. All right. So, hey, I'm going to call it 30 minutes of a show. I'm good with that. Please enjoy, share, whatever you got to do. I'm only reading the news. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm just saying, for God's sake, it's everywhere. You guys can, I mean, it's weird. It's interesting. Who's the terrorist? What's the global threat exactly? Is the global threat where they just ran with their tail between their fucking legs? That doesn't seem like a global threat to me. That seemed like a goddamn retreat. Like, where's the threat? They just saying leave. I don't even. At least let them do something first. The motherfuckers don't even let them do anything. They just get out. They're gonna do something. Damn, we're telling you to leave. And now in another country, they're saying we don't want any free press. This is what Poland is saying. They're saying that we want our spread, our nurturing, our cultivation of nationalism, of that sentiment to flourish in this country, unfettered by challenge. What the fuck is their problem? Come on, man. Really? You're happy being you. I'm glad you're you. I really am. Do others have to suffer because you're you? Must others tolerate the insufferable chanting of "We're us, damn it, isn't it great"? What the fuck? That's what we're dealing with. The need to chant that just until the end of time. Fuck it. And what's interesting is they want that sentiment in their minds, but more than that, any sentiment or opinion or attitude or notion opposite the thought that they're supreme, that white nationalism is a thing, that must be met with a violent response. That expresses a mental disorder of the highest order. There's no other way to explain white nationalism. It is a mental disease. You want to be better than me? Have at it. But the expression, furtherance, nurturing, and intolerance of opposite thought in that vein, I mean, so what I got to do? I got to vanish because you feel good? God damn. Really? So I got to fucking be gone because you're feeling good about yourself. Because you're feeling your oats, raising your fists like some madman, shaking your goddamn fists at the fucking air in celebration of white supremacy. Dear God, really? Is it that good? I'm glad it is. Okay. But is it really necessary? We got shit to do. There are people that need to eat over here. I mean, you want to be supreme. I got a job for you. Listen, obviously you're bucking for the job. You want to be a supreme individual, and I've got hungry people over here, displaced people over here, people who are suffering an earthquake right here, hurricane victims here. I mean, so I'm of the mind that if you're serious about this thing, there are steps that you can take to assert your supremacy in the most sincere of fashion that don't involve banks, money and greed and power and position and luxury and the spread of the notion of white supremacy. What the fuck is wrong with you folks? And it's high time motherfucker asked you that pointedly. Now, you don't have to give an answer, but I know you motherfuckers see something's wrong. What? You see, the thing is, we ain't said shit about this shit. Let me tell you. The 30s, 40s, and 50s, when white men went around screaming and yelling in white fucking sheets, talking about we're fucking superior, nobody said, okay, well, you dangerous, and you killing motherfuckers, and goddamn. But how come nobody said, there's something wrong with this? No, Bill, listen. No, you first, those sheets cost money. Might tell you, that's first. Second, hell to clean. Chose white. I get the relation, but for God's sake, you put 2 holes, and then you wear it on your fucking head, the sweat, the hair, the dirt, the spittle, you're yelling, you're screaming, you're eating, you're smoking cigarettes, you're doing shit, you're riding the horses, you're wearing a fucking one over your fucking, what is the deal? What? I got to clean this shit. That will shelve. How about the notion of your superiority? So you keep dropping dead. Can we start there? Lifespans of Caucasians, Europeans, versus Negroes, whatever you want to look, are kind of comparatively easy to get. I don't understand the shit. But motherfuckers are claiming that they are superior. In what sense? That's my dog. He's coughing. Poor guy's got a cold. So that notion is ridiculous. And it's 2021, and now it's spreading globally. Who's telling these people they're superior? What about these folks are superior? What thing can you point to them that isn't something that they have taken from another culture and made their own, that creates a superiority complex within them? I can only assert that there is fuckery afoot. I can only tell you folks that means these people are being whispered to, they're being lied to. Something is telling them something not true. Common sense people see white supremacy as just ridiculously, it's a notion of idiocy. Give me a fucking break. Shalom, how are you? And it's not even Jesus. You waste your fucking 10, 20 years on that shit. You wake up, you're 50-something years old, and you got to make up for all that time. By the time you're 70, 80, if you're lucky to live that long, you're going to have a little old black lady named Bessie. And 3 times a day, Bessie going to come to your fucking bed and wipe your fucking ass and change your goddamn colostomy bag. And that's how you're going to go out. All superior and shit. Come on. There's a problem. Somebody's being told shit. I mean, what? Just to give you, John, I was letting people know, any folks that are here late, I saw a news article message on Poland. It was kind of a side thing. Afghanistan kind of capitalizing on the news. And they were talking about Poland no longer moving toward a society where the press is not controlled or owned by foreign entities. Well, they're a white nationalist, right-wing country, along with Hungary. They fly swastikas openly. They're in it to win it, baby. And so I Googled, in all caps, global rise of white nationalism. And it's everywhere. The latest article being, not the latest, but one of the latest. Here's one, what the Capitol insurgency reveals about white supremacy. That from the 12th of January, 6 days after the incident. How white supremacy returned to mainstream politics. We got a guy running for some public office that said God is a racist, God's a white supremacist. Folks, what the fuck? You're questioning me, telling you to steer clear of these unknown knowns. I'm not talking about the known knowns. I'm not talking about the folks you know. I'm not talking about the folks that give you the face you know. That face that can change at the drop of a hat because we've watched it. The guy that shot that brother at the Kroger's for playing loud music, I guarantee you'll find one or two black people that will vouch for him and say, I didn't think he was like that at all. Music made him kill that brother. Let's not fool ourselves. What's within racists in this fucking country lies dormant until it's triggered by some event, circumstance, or experience. Fuck that. And so when I tell you to feed everyone with a long-handled spoon, I got every fucking right to feel that way. And so do you. And don't let any of them tell you differently. Who the fuck has a right to tell you how to walk about this penal colony for Negroes? And I mean to say that in respect to them expecting you to have a smile on your fucking face every day. In the face of this shit, it's every fucking day, and it's in our fucking face, and they're not playing. And all I'm saying is get that goddamn grin off your face. While I'm sitting there reading this shit, at least think about it. It's not just here in the United States, it's global. What you gonna do? Nothing. The kingdom's gonna do it for you, but you at least got to be on the right side of history. You can't be Representative Scott, who thinks racism. This clown thinks racism is a thing of the past. Again, that's my poor dog. He's got a cold. What up, Rich? It is not a thing of the past. Racism is not a thing of the past. It is not gone. It is still here. And it's growing. And before it's in our face, all I'm saying is get the smile on your face, off your face. You might need it later. Because generally, they don't really fuck with brothers and sisters that ain't grinning and skinning. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? You ever seen the caricature of us, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the caricature? Oh, Jesus. You know, those of us, they could clown to our fucking faces and us skin and grin about it. They've shown it in movies and representations of us that just need to go the fuck away. We still have those representations. Here comes my dog coughing. I can't believe it. Bubba, do you need to go out? My dog's gonna ruin the show, folks. Bubba's got a cold. He's coughing. If he continues, I'm going to get off the show. My dog takes priority over everything. Sorry. My living animals, my living beings. Hopefully you can hold it. Oh, you good? He's going to sound so gross. Step and fetch it. That's right. Those caricatures of old. And, you know, they get great pleasure out of that shit. They get great pleasure out of hey, boy, what you doing? Do I have to? Anyway. That was the show this morning, folks. It's obvious I'm probably going to have to pay attention to my poor dog. But I will be on later as he probably needs a little attention. You guys have a wonderful morning. Thanks for tuning in. Share this shit because this was a good one. Okay? Gotta go. Oh, Bubba, stop it. I got you, dog. Jesus, he's going to go. Sorry, guys. 7:75.